Namaste. Namaste to one and namaste to all, because we are all one. We're one family. We're going to use the water table. I'm sure that we're all pretty familiar with the water table. And we're going to be using the water table as an example of an analogy maybe could be looked at as a way of understanding this, a way of visualizing this. You see, as human incarnated individuals, we need some kind of a frame of reference. We need some way of explaining this. And I am coming from the perspective of I am in absolutely no way more enlightened than you. I am in no way, and I do not profess to be in any way, shape or form any better than you, any more clued up than you, any more knowledgeable, or any more wisdom filled. It's just possibly I've got tools. I've come here equipped with tools enabling it to be slightly easier for me to convey what for many is ineffable. Now, everything is cyclical. The universe is cyclical. We're living in a cyclic universe. Everything goes in cycles and ages. We're entering the age of Aquarius. Now, when I say everything is in cycles, I mean everything. Time, as we know it, space-time, runs in cycles. Although we now know that space-time is not fundamental. But within this illusion, within this holographic matrix, we have the illusion of separation, the illusion of division, the illusion of not being a part of the source that we emanate from. Now, I'm going to show you how this could not be any further from the truth. In a cyclical universe, what goes around comes around, and everything happens periodically. Now, so using the water cycle as an analogy for the way that our soul energy condenses or densifies is the correct term. How our soul energy densifies into form, into physical form, to enter into the earth illusion, the earth system, the earth experience, and then how our soul goes through this life in form and then goes through stages of transition or transmutation and eventually end up back in what we would class as the spirit realm, what I call home. Now, we're going to start from the cloud. Okay, let's just call this the cloud. And cloud as in computing cloud, as in the memory system, the cloud, or cloud as in a rain cloud. It's both and the same. Okay, because water contains information. Everything contains information. Everything contains photons that are vibrating at different rates, which gives individualized aspects a quotient, a light quotient. So, if we start from the cosmic cloud is full of what appears to be many individualized aspects of the whole. So let's say the whole is the cosmic cloud. The cosmic cloud then precipitates. So when your soul is in the cosmic cloud, let's call this the spirit realm, you are still individual, you are still individuated, you are still individualized, an individualized aspect of the whole, but you are like a cog in the machine, so you are a part of the whole. Okay, so, or a ripple in the ocean. When you decide, or when your oversoul decides, when you decide, your higher self decides to incarnate into form, into physical form, let's say as a human being on planet Earth, for one example, you would first need to densify. Okay, so first you pick your destination. For us, this will be Earth, humanity, Earth, the Earth realm. You would then need to precipitate into form or densify. It's the same thing. So the more vapor aspects of yourself, like imagine yourself when you're non-physical in the spirit realm. You're like, let's call it like a vapor, like a mist. You're a portion of the cloud, the cosmic cloud. That portion of the cosmic cloud, of that mist that you are, in pure energy form, non-physical form, then precipitates or densifies into form. Let's call this snow. Yeah, so imagine the snow dropping from the cosmic cloud onto the top of an earth mountain. Okay? The snow is in crystalline form, perfect in every way, absolutely perfect, and is geometric, sacred geometry. So you are perfect, you are sacred geometry, and you are now precipitated in form. Well, for that form to really densify it, that lovely white individualized. Now think about this, every single flake of snow, every single snowflake is individualized. So it's, even though it's all frozen water, it is crystallized in a completely unique form. So you precipitate into a completely unique soul coming into the earth realm. Your individualized crystalline self then hits the mountain top and eventually will melt, eventually will liquefy. And what does water do? Water always finds the path of least resistance. And this is the way that we should be living our lives, following this law, the path of least resistance. What you resist will persist. What you resist, you will attract. What you call into darkness, or what you pull into darkness, calls you to further darkness. So once your crystalline individuated state has melted into a more dense form, but a fluid form, okay? You then join the stream of souls entering Earth. So the stream coming down the mountain can be metaphorically looked at as the stream of souls coming into the Earth realm to be human. Okay, so every single drop of water will be a different size, different shape, but it's all H2O. It's all fundamentally the same stuff. Now, the next step is the tiny little streams coming off the mountain will then enter into larger streams where you gain a bit of momentum. You're continually, ultimately trying to get back to your source. So you are continually finding the path of least resistance through life, with all of its twists and turns, with all of its ups and downs. And you are continually trying to find the path of least resistance to ultimately get back to the very source from which you came. But there's a bit of a journey to this. It's a bit of an adventure, right? And it would be quite boring if you just fell as this snowflake, melted, and immediately found your way back to source through evaporation. And kind of, it would be boring. There needs to be some kind of a story to this, some kind of an adventure. There needs to be some kind of, to make this into any kind of a challenge, to make this different from where you came from, which was just a state of pure perfection and bliss. You need to have some kind of a story, some kind of a challenge. And a challenge we have got. So, ultimately, through all these twists and turns that life will throw you in, kicking and screaming, we try to find the path of least resistance, and we go by our emotional guidance system. Our inner emotional guidance system will always keep us right if we know how to listen. For those who have the ears to listen. So, you come down from the cosmic cloud as the individualized, pure crystalline form that you are. You join the stream, you densify even more, and then you become human. You join the human stream. And we go on these twists and turns, and some of them are sheer drops and tumbling off the edge of enormous waterfalls, and we get smashed against rocks, and we get twisted and turned all over the place, caught in currents that we don't always feel is the best place to be. But always, 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 every single catalyst, every rock that you hit, every tree root that you bounce off, every rock that you tumble over, guides you further and further towards the designated location. Eventually, you will find yourself back in the sea of life. So you've gone through the river, the streams, the rivers, and then you come into the ocean of all that is. And once you come back into the ocean, you are reunited. You are remembered as who you truly are, and you are suddenly under the realization that all of that journey, all of that separation, all of those headaches, all of that tumbling, all of that falling, all of that seemingly getting lost, was you all along. You were getting funneled into the perfect location, the perfect catalysts, through the perfect waterways, the perfect adventure, the perfect challenge. Once you're back in the sea of life, the ocean of life, you then evaporate. Now don't forget, this is still one cycle, or one circle. Circle, cycle. You then evaporate, That's your soul leaving the sea of humanity, the sea of life. You evaporate and you then return to the cosmic cloud from which you came. So then the question is, well, is the cosmic cloud your true beingness, your true self, or is it the physical precipitation of being within the earth realm? The answer is both. Both the physical, your physical and metaphysical. Simultaneously, you are, everything has a physical and a metaphysical counterpart, including us. I hope this helps. So you can see the cycle of life, the circle of life, the cycle of life, the water cycle. We are made of 77% water whilst physically incarnated. And this is probably the best analogy that my higher self has shown me, along with the tree analogy that will be for another day. But I hope this helps. So the continual cycle, becoming physically focused as a human, and then re-emerging back in your oversoul. But really, truly, you've never ever been anything other than the ocean. You've never ever been anything other than the cosmic cloud. You have been both and all and everything in between. You've been the streams, you've been the drops, you've been the little splashes of water that have been broken to pieces, smashed to pieces so many times, but we always find our way back through thick and thin, and we find our way back, and we end up back at the same location that we then leave again, only to do this whole journey all over again. The cycle of life, the water cycle, the human cycle, the soul cycle, the cyclical universe. Okay, one love. Namaste.